Hi y'all, I'm Marty with Marty's Rocks, and I have something very special for you today. It's some of my favorite pieces. I only have a couple left. I've donated them to museums all over the place. There were only about a dozen of them to begin with, and they were crystal halite, salt crystals, grown on tree limbs, weeds, and they were from the Great Salt Lake, or the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. In the mid-1960s, a miner named Amel Pape dug them up, and I was rummaging through a friend's garage one day and found a couple of boxes, and I was digging through, and I said, hey, what the heck is this? It was really interesting. Plus, under UV light or blacklight, they fluoresce. And so, anyhow, here is what came of them. This is salt crystals grown on tree limbs or bushes from the Great Salt Lake from the mid-1960s. Now this one broke, so you can see the bush, the actual bush that it was grown on. It's just, is Mother Nature wonderful or what? I mean, it's just, how? You can, I've had people tell me you can make this in your bathtub. And you can. You just take a string, you get some salt and dip it, and like kind of like making a candle. But these were actually dug out of the ground at the Bonneville Salt Flats. This is the biggest one that has ever been dug up. You'll see a lot of pretty ones like pinks and different colors like that. Those are grown by man. People make them. And these rust-colored ones, they were around iron is what caused this color. So there's a lot of iron out there, and you will not find any other crystal halites that look like this unless you go to some place I've donated them to in the Boise Valley here. And it just, they're like little fingers. Look at these things. I'm gonna give you the finger. But they have cavities in them. They were wrapped in newspaper when I got them, and of course the newspaper from the 1960s had stuck to them, and so I had to put water on these to clean them off. And putting water on salt, you know what happens? It dissolves. And so I had to be really careful. And it's just like this little break here. It, just the slightest little deal will break it. So you have to be very careful with them. These are the last two I have left. And they're so enjoyable to look at. It is just, I don't know, I keep using the word Mother Nature, you can use God, whatever, I don't know, but I've got some pieces behind me, agates like this comes from Oregon, how they were made and discovered is just boggles your mind. I mean, look at this outside here. Who would think that this would have this beautiful agate inside of it? Look at that. Is that amazing? And that's what I find amazing about all these rocks. All the metals, all the gemstones, semi-precious gemstones. They're just fantastic. And it's like, oh, I didn't make them, you didn't make them, my buddy over here next door, he didn't make them, so we know the science behind it, but still you have to, it makes you wonder, or it makes me wonder, is there a higher power doing this? I mean, this is like design, and I'm not talking about aliens. Oh my God. But it's just so amazing. There's still even more behind me that are just Here's one. Here's one of my all-time favorites. This is a river rock I sliced in half. It's just a plain old river rock. But there was something about it that jumped out at me and said, what the hell, something's wrong here. You see this herringbone pattern right here? Right in this area? You'll only find that on one thing, petrified wood. This is a piece of petrified wood that was over the years and years, maybe millions of years, thousands of years, who knows. It just depends on the, weather, the volcanism, the water, the mud, everything. And so it turned into just a round kind of rock or an oval. And some idiot like me comes around one day, and it doesn't have really the genetic material left, but you can still see a little bit of the tree rings in here. And there's a rock, and it's pretty, but it's like, what the heck is that? It's not jasper, it's not agate, it's been agatized, they would say, or silicified. And you got that beautiful herringbone pattern up there. It's just outstanding to me. And it blows my mind. And I get to look at these every day. When I wake up in the morning, I get to, I pet my rocks. not those. And then I get to, before I go to sleep, it's like a breath of fresh air. It even kind of calms you down. It's like my little apartment here is Mother Nature growing right around me all the time. May even have some more back here. This piece here, this is very interesting. It's a piece of petrified wood from Arizona. But if you weren't to look at the tree rings and whatnot, it almost looks like Big's jasper. It is just so strange that it got the same formation as that rock group did. Not the band, but rocks, mineralogy, that kind of thing, geology. So anyhow, thanks for letting me blather on. Please subscribe. We're just new to this, and I don't even know what I'm really doing. And like us, please. Appreciate it much. Bye.